Sunday morning, and Balmaceda's residence in my San Valenzuela was filled with a song that all our parents can relate to. It was a love song, prominent in the 80s. However, despite the lovely ambience brought by the song, the patriarch, Adriano Balmaceda, looked stressed and was sulking in the corner. The door opened as his wife, Pamela, went inside as she finished all her laundry. She was enjoying the music when she saw her husband, who is scrolling through his phone using his right index finger while holding his phone with his left hand. He was frowning and looking so grumpy. Pamela shook her head and turned the volume of the stereo down. Yanong, as what his compadres called him, looked up to his wife with an asking face. He put his phone down. She then proceeded to ask,
"Why are you sulking there, Adriano? It's a beautiful Sunday morning. Get up and have fun."
We have a problem, Meng. Our daughter will turn in 13 in 5 months, and she's not yet married. You know what my compadres are asking me already? They keep on boasting that their daughters are already married. And you know what? They even post on Facebook.
At first, the matriarch failed to see the problem. But then, when she thought of her Ate Marites being arrogant and proud of her daughter for marrying an American bachelor, and looking down at her, she covered her mouth and acted as hysterical as Yano.
Just mio, it really is a problem. I couldn't stop thinking of Ate Marita's reaction if ever we meet on the reunion again. Oh, darling, what are we gonna do?
And the two shared their personal frustrations about their daughter. Krista was the only child of the couple. She was indeed turning 30 in a couple of months, and yet does not have any boyfriend. Perhaps because she's always busy working as the department head of a company in BGC. Yano and Meng continue stressing out about their daughter when someone's car blew their horn in front of their house. Pamela went out to see who it was when a familiar woman came out of the car. It was their old friend, Juana, except that she looked so westernized today.
Hi, Balmaceda residents! It's your favorite friend! How are you? It has been years since I went here. Where's my goddaughter? I have gifts for her. For you!
Juana, now known as Jane, exclaimed. Pamela invited her inside their humble home and the couple made her sit on their wooden sofa. They started talking, asking about their lives and their families.
Well, Krista's just on her way from a night shift at work. She's a department head in a company, and her career is all about arts. You know what? That goddaughter of yours is really stubborn. I told her to get a job that makes good money. How much money will arts give her?
Adriano shook his head, and Jane laughed at his remark.
Compadre, this country has never moved on. In Italy, almost everyone's career has to do with the arts. Your daughter has chosen her career and that is what she wants. There's nothing wrong with that.
She faces Pamela and gives her the paper bag. She then asks if they still teach in my son National High School where they all started decades ago. Pamela accepted the paper bag and nodded.
Yes, our daughter wants us to stop, but of course, we cannot give up our profession easily. We love teaching more than any other career. And we are good. But just this morning, we realized we have a problem.
Her voice faded out as she started to sulk again. With her concerned face, the lady asked her the problem. She said that she could help, especially if it's financial problem. But for the couple, their problem is more than that.
Your goddaughter is turning 30 in 5 months. But she doesn't have a boyfriend yet. How could she be married? Oh, my poor Krista.
The mother cried. Krista's westernest godmother, who is as traditional as her parents, started to be hysterical as well. Juana cried over the thought of her goddaughter growing old, single, and alone. And the three of them stressed themselves about it. However, after a couple of minutes, Jane's face brightened up and called for her assistant on her phone. A minute after she ended the call, her assistant, coming from the car, came into the house with a lot of paper bags in her hands.
Ma'am, these are all of the gifts. 30 paper bags, just as you asked, and the car is all ready.
Jane, her assistant said after putting the bags down.
All right, my friends, we will do something about this problem. Remember those 3 high school students that confessed they had a crush on Krista in high school? I'll contact them right away. I am so sure that they would realize they still have feelings for my goddaughter. For now, I have to go. I'll keep in touch. Tell my lovely Krista that all of these are hers. Ciao!
And she left their place. Somehow, the two calmed down and waited for their friend's actions. 2 days after that day, someone knocked on their door. When Meng opened it and saw who it was, she was startled.
Eliza? What brings you here?
Ma, they are my visitor. They wanted to hang out after a long time. You know, I miss my high school best friend and I want to spend time with them.
The maiden explained and told the visitor to come in and take a seat. Adriano left the kitchen after Pamela called him. In their house's living room, they talked with each other.
So, Eliza, how are you? What's your job? Are you married now?
Pamela asked, curious about her daughter's old friend.
I am fine, ma'am. Yes, I'm working as an employee in a furniture company in Eastwood City. And no, I am not yet married since I haven't found the right woman for me.
Hearing their last words, Adriano chimed in.
Woman? Eliza, you are a lesbian? How come? And since when?
Papa, Eliza came out before we graduated in high school. I think only me and Ninang Jane knows about it.
Krista smiled at the other girl. Meanwhile, her parents looked at each other before they read the message coming from Juana. Alessa liked Krista when they were still in high school. They told me. If they happened, I'll bring them both in Italy so they can at least have a civil union. They sighed and caught their faces on their palms. Both of them did not like the idea of their daughter being tied to another woman. As the time passed by, Eliza finds out the job that Krista has. At first, when the latter said that she was an artist, they thought that she was a freelance painter. But when they heard that she is a department head, they were shocked.
So, you are like a boss? You have subordinates?
Yes. Why?
Nothing?
This thought brought discouragement to Eliza because they are not used to dating someone who has more power than them. They get intimidated. Hence, an hour after they left, Meng and Yanong received a message from Juana saying that Eliza backed out because they felt inferior.
2 days later, someone knocked on the Balmacedo's door again. This time, Adriano got it. When he saw a familiar face in front of him, he was delighted.
Oh, Cervantes! How are you? You're grown up now. I remember when I was still your teacher, you came to the faculty room and asked me to give Krista your Valentine's gift, huh? Look at you now. Come in.
Krista and her mother came out of their rooms and invited Ralph for breakfast. They talked about how much Ralph crushes on Krista when they were high school. Her parents laughed and teased the two. Fast forward to when Krista and Ralph were alone, talking in the family's living room. Her parents were out in the backyard, giving them time and probably gushing over the thought of their daughter being married to the bachelor.
So you are a department head, huh? Sort of a boss?
Ralph asked, looking at the picture frames on the wall. Krista smiled and nodded.
I am. Countless hours have led me to that position.
I don't think you should work too hard. Once you get married, you should stay at home and take care of your family. That's how it works, right? Right?
Krista frowned, disagreeing with what the man said. She shook her head in disbelief. She didn't say any words and let Ralph talk. After a few hours of staying in her home, Ralph decided to bid goodbye to the family.
Hey, are you free next week? Movies, you want? With me?
I am sorry, Ralph, but if you're asking me to go out with you, I would like to politely refuse it.
Her parents, who heard everything from the kitchen, gasped as if they lost the answer to their problems. Ralph didn't say a thing, just nodded and left. No one talked about it again except for Juana, who texted, saying that Ralph snitched that Krista refused to date him. The family's Saturday was peaceful and quiet. All three of them were in the living room, scrolling through their phones when 3 knocks on the door were made. The patriarch went to open the door and then saw another familiar face. His face lit up as if he lost all the problems that he had. It was Lawrence, another student of the couple in the past. Another person who asked Adriano to give his gifts to his daughter on Valentine's Day years ago.
Assalamualaikum, sir. It's nice seeing you again after years.
I heard that you came back to Mindanao? Have you finished your schooling?
Yes, sir. I am now managing our business here in Manila. My parents stayed in Mindanao to manage our lands and coconut plantation. Papa is a politician there as well.
Krista was amazed. Everything was well until words slipped out of Lawrence's lips, making everyone silent and feel awkward.
The reason why I came here is to actually ask for your permission so that I can court Krista. I think being the third wife wouldn't be so bad.
Krista cleared her throat and slowly spoke. With so much courtesy, she told Lawrence that she respects his culture but she doesn't want to be involved in polygamy.
I am really sorry, Lawrence. I appreciate your belief, but I think that will not work with mine. I hope you'll understand.
Lawrence said he'd do and that he had to go. Again, her parents were hopeless, almost giving up and accepting that their daughter would grow old alone. One night, just as they thought Krista was already sleeping, the couple stayed in the kitchen, called Juana and told her that their plan was never successful. 3 suitors have come and no one passed and was really eligible to be her companion in life. Jane said she didn't know Lawrence had married 2 women already. Krista heard all of this from the doorway, and when they ended the call, she spoke.
You planned all of this? You set me up with Eliza, Ralph, and Lawrence?
Her voice was monotonous, and they were so shocked that they couldn't tell if she's mad or not.
Ma! Pa! I don't need a man or even a woman. If you are worried about what will be your friends' reactions to your daughters being single, don't involve me in this. I am fine with myself.
We just want the best for you.
This is not the best for me. This is the best for you and your ego.
And walked out. Krista stayed in her room the next day. After days of pointing fingers, her parents decided to knock on her door and waited for her to let them come in. She opened it and her parents were pouting, asking for forgiveness. They promised that they would never do that again and will tell her Ninang Juana to stop looking for guys for her. At the end, Krista smiled and hugged her parents, totally accepting their apology. Did you like it? I hope you did! This story will remind us that not every person needs a better half or a significant other to feel complete. Sometimes, family, friends, and even just ourselves will make us more than complete and enough. What matters is we are happy in every decision that we make. That is also why we have to think twice and consider a lot of things before deciding. Until next time, folks, see you!